Hey, what's up, folks? How you doing? Welcome to yet another episode of Cafeteria Science. Very interesting episode of Cafeteria Science. With me, your host. Do I have to introduce my name?
Yeah. You want everybody to guess what your name is. I also feel like laughing.
Today, I'm your host. My name will come later.
You can tell them the pale blue.
What?
You can tell them the pale blue name.
Okay, yeah, I'm your host, Pearl Blue. Yeah, the history behind that name will stay later on, not now. Today is a very interesting episode because I get to interview your very famous YouTuber, Mr. Seraph.
You're overstating the case. Me, I'm not that famous.
You are followers. Mr. Seraph, hi, Mr. Seraph.
Hey, don't call me Mister.
Today we're going to be Today is a very interesting episode because I get to interview our favorite YouTuber, Seraph. Hi, Seraph. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm very excited and a bit nervous.
I'm also too excited. I can't control it. I can't stop smiling ear to ear.
You know there's a YouTube channel called Science of Cafeteria.
No, I didn't know that. But of course, I didn't get inspiration from that page.
Where did the inspiration come from?
I'm the only cafeteria science around.
By the way, it's special because it's his birthday. So, yeah, you were saying? Where's the inspiration from?
I'm not a scientist, neither am I like somebody who's educated in the sciences. So I'm just somebody who's interested in this stuff. So hence the cafeteria. Like these are conversations you just have in a cafeteria when you're having some lunch or something. Like hallway type of talk. Yeah, if I was a professional physicist or a mathematician, I would have not called it cafeteria science. I would have called it science. Or something in between those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. You say you're not educated in the science field. Why not? Why not take that step?
I wanted to, but opportunity cost. And in Zambia, we're in Zambia, you know what I mean? So I thought, let me actually find something that's more economically viable. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is?
Public relations.
Oh, great.
But I did do ethics, for the philosophy of like more philosophy.
Oh, more philosophy. So you're into philosophy as well?
Yes, philosophy and science.
Of course. Yeah. We've seen enough videos
of
that. Okay. Interesting. So, are you into history? No?
Yeah, depends which history though. But generally, yeah, history is interesting.
Are you a foodie?
Sometimes.
Okay,
depends with the food.
So if you were given a chance to have dinner or lunch with any philosopher, who would it be?
I'd pick even the dead ones.
Of course, even the dead ones.
I'd pick AJ Ayer. I did a video about logical positivism. I would pick him because I have questions and stuff. Yeah.
You have enough questions for him, huh? Oh my days. Okay, so
some people need to be on camera more.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm always behind books.
Yeah.
Reading and okay. All right, cool. So
otherwise I'll just take over the interview right now.
You could also ask me anything.
I'm not taking. We're celebrating my birthday here.
Of course, it's your birthday.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to be asked the questions.
I just ask you how old you are.
Oh no, I'm not saying how old I am. I'm of good age though, but no, I'm not saying how old I am.
Okay, tell us about the current book that you're reading. Okay.
What about the current book I'm reading?
Yeah.
I'm reading a book called what's that? School of Life. Mm-hmm. But it's a book by Alain de Botton. And I think, in fact, since you've asked me about that book, maybe I could just give a reason why I've changed my perspective on self-help books. So I used to be skeptical of self-help books. I felt like they're just selling you ideas which you already know, like how to be rich, how to earn money, how to find a job. I feel like self-help books just exploit you. But this book is a self-help book, and it's talking about emotional intelligence. So what the guy is basically trying to argue is the same way we have books about mathematics, about science, about geography, and everything else, about history, we need a book that talks about emotions and education. He even argues that if it were possible, it would be nice to actually teach people how to live their life, how to be like emotionally in tune with themselves. because we don't have that. When you pick up a book, it's either about
How to make money.
yes, how to make money, how to how to have a business, but nobody's really teaching you how to feel things, how to handle a relationship, how to talk to your friends. So that's primarily what the book is about. So that's what I'm reading. Yeah.
Okay, so basically you're agreeing with the writer of the book, yeah?
Yeah, I'm really agreeing.
Do you
And he
think-
has an interesting channel called The School of Life. It's got cool stuff there. I've been watching The School of Life for a long time, but now I've started actually listening.
Interesting. Okay, do you think that's going to be easy? Like his approach on emotions, teach people about emotional intelligence
Like it's
in a
cool.
setting like a Zambian setting. Do you think it's going to be easy if that was introduced? Teaching people about emotional intelligence.
I actually think it would be easy and people would pick it up quick. I feel like not only Zambians, but people like emotional type of conversations as opposed to like science and stuff like that. One reason I'm saying this, there was that clip I shared where I was saying, no, I don't know how I'm feeling. I am doubting stuff. It got a lot of good reactions on Facebook. Just that clip, as opposed to all the science I talk about. So yeah, I think it would take off.
Okay, but don't you think emotions are somehow subjective and people want to do what they want to do? I've heard enough people say, no, it's me, I perceive things differently.
Yeah,
And what you feel is not what I'm feeling. We have this whole thing of how you receive information and what you do with it.
yeah. Yeah, true. Emotions are subjective, but we're humans and we're social animals. And at least we all have a generic perspective on what respect is, what love is. You can have a different emotional story. Maybe you have trauma that I've never experienced, but there's a way that it's like to talk to you about respect or about love or about friendships and bonding. There's a commonality. It's not like you're talking to a whole different species altogether.
I think this camera is making me nervous.
I was nervous at some point too, but I'm no longer.
This is your thing. You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, but we all start somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So is it right if we call you a philosopher yet?
I think
Well, yeah.
I try to think philosophically, but
Okay.
philosopher, I think that's a label I'm not yet ready to wear,
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Had a follow-up
or not
question.
competent enough yet to.
Okay, so during your time as this person that's interested in philosophy and science, do you think you've discovered anything that nobody knows of yet, or think you have, or you will, or you want to? In fact, let me change that.
I wouldn't say I've discovered anything that most people don't know about yet, but I would say I've discovered ways to explain certain things in a certain way that people don't know about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what?
That most people, especially in the country that we're in, that most people don't really know about or maybe just don't pay attention to. Like I've discovered an approach to things and explaining things in a way that most people don't do. Yeah. Maybe putting it like that would be a bit more accurate.
What makes you think most people don't do?
What makes me think that?
Yeah.
A typical example is like religion. So most people, when you ask them what their concept of God is, they'll tell you, no, God is, they'll give you like an idea of like a biblical God. God is Jehovah or Jesus in the Bible. I believe in God because I had a personal experience. I think God comes through for me in my life. He answered my prayers. But philosophy, when you ask somebody who's like a little bit more philosophically in tune, what they think about the concept of God, they'll say things like God is a necessary being for existence. Existence is only the way it is because there's a necessary being that anchors everything together. So there's like that different approach. When you ask somebody who's a little bit more philosophically literate, they have a different conception of God as opposed to like an average everyday Christian. And Zambia is full of average everyday Christians. It's not a bad thing, but I was just highlighting a difference, like how I approach this stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So in like one word, how would you describe how you perceive God, the existence of God? Just in one word.
I would say probability. Probable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, so from that, it's like you are in between accepting that there's a being out there and there isn't one.
Since it's about probability,
Yeah.
I'm more leaning towards like it's. I personally feel it's more probable that there isn't one.
Okay, but these are things we see from your channels, your videos,
Yeah.
your articles. So I think most people have an idea of how you see God.
Yeah, but it's not like I can know with absolute certainty, like there is no God.
Yeah.
It's just that I feel it's more probable that there isn't. Yeah, but there are people who feel differently. They feel like it's more probable that there is.
So is it right to wear an atheist right now?
Yeah, for the for ease of communication, yes. But for like truthfulness of it all, I think it's more accurate to say perhaps agnostic or somebody who's like in between. But if you want to simplify things and just have a straight conversation, atheist is good. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the most... Okay, let me start from here. Looking at our society right now,
Yeah.
If you say I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, people will really, really judge you, especially in our Zambian setting. We're a Christian nation, and you find very few atheists as compared to the outside world, like the Western culture and whatnot. So what's the most common misconception people have about atheists?
Yeah, that we're bad people, we don't have morals, we don't have meaning in our lives, we're just going out there, we're about to rape someone, we're going to kill someone, we can't be trusted. We're just up to something, we're up to no good, We're trying to corrupt people.
But do you think that's true? Because mostly what shapes your morals is what you believe in. So
there are different brands of atheists. They're like stupid atheists and they're like normal atheists. There are atheists who are like really conservative. If you look at their lifestyles, they're practically like a very devout Christian you can come across. Something like a typical Jehovah's Witness or a typical Catholic. Yeah. But they're atheists. They're conservative, they don't drink, they don't involve themselves in this promiscuous stuff. Then there are atheists who are a little bit more liberal-minded. They like to explore with different drugs. They are all over, like women, they're promiscuous and stuff like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for me, I feel like I'm in between everything.
You have to be somewhere.
There are two extremes. I'm not on either extreme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you know this. Mm. Maybe you can. Maybe if you want, you can put me in a category that you feel I suit based on the assessment and how you know me.
So, how then do you approach morality and ethics?
Morality is hard. Morality is hard to defend or debate on in academia. In normal life, you can just say, don't do that. You hurt that person's feelings. Or don't steal something that belongs to your friend. That's bad. It will make your friend feel bad. Yeah. In everyday normal life, I feel like easy pragmatism works. Like, don't get what's not yours. You go to jail. Don't beat your friend in the face for no apparent reason. You cause harm. That's easy. But when you go to academics, these things are hard to justify. Even in philosophy, like, why is it wrong to kill somebody? What intelligent argument are you going to bring to the table? These are hard arguments. So for me, right and wrong, I feel it's a matter of subjectivity and emotions. Yeah. It's not like, I don't think there are objective wrongs or objective rights. Everything is just really subjective.
But don't you think all those things are drawn from the Holy Book?
What do you mean?
The things
before I start defending what I've done, and what do you mean they're derived from the Bible?
To some extent, they are derived from, let's not call it the Bible.
Oh, okay, the Holy Book. It can be the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, all those things you mentioned. I don't know if maybe I zoned out a bit, but you mentioned things like don't steal, don't beat up your friend, you go to jail. So don't you think all those things are somehow derived from a common factor, which is reduced to a Holy Book? And that's
the reason why I don't think so is I feel they are more derived from the common factor, which is that we are social animals.
Okay.
And the fact that we're social animals, we had to figure out a way to live with each other. And we are social animals first before we wrote holy books.
Yeah.
So holy books are merely like a mirror that mirror something that is deeper and within us already. They need to live together, and one way of living together in a good way is not killing each other. Yeah. So we had to canonize it in some way.
But don't you think you need to survive of the fittest? You have to kind of eat your friend, like a dog eat dog kind of society to get what you want. Because I feel like...
I think we've experienced that before. We've experimented with that in human history. And it didn't turn out well. So that's where we are. That's why we're here. Yeah.
Great. Okay, away from that. Your social life. Is your entire friend circle atheist? Are they into philosophy? Or...
Okay, I have a lot of friends who are like me, but also a lot of friends who are not like me. I have friends who I spend 90% of the time talking about stuff that I do, but there are friends who critique my videos. Some even tell me, in this particular video, you are totally wrong. You should have done ABCD. To give you an example, there's this video I did. It's like a mini documentary on how the universe started. I was talking about the Big Bang. The criticism I got for that video. I just realized, oh damn, I should have read a little bit more. Yeah. Most of my friends are like me, but others are not. I think it's just, if I had to measure them, I think I have more friends who are not like me.
And how has been the experience with having friends who are not like you?
My friends are chilled. Yeah. My friends are really chilled. They don't even care. Most of them, we don't even talk about God, you know. Because I think 90%, the reason is most of them are lukewarm Christians.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not uptight. I used to have, when I had Jehovah's Witness friends, those were the ones who used to give me a hard time. But my friends right now, pretty chilled guys. They don't even care. If I want, I can be saying I eat babies on camera. They won't even give a shit. As long as we've just bought alcohol, we're drinking, yeah, and life goes on, and we're sharing ideas to make money.
Oh, great! So you guys focus more on the bigger picture,
yeah,
and not argue about what you believe in. That's actually important, because sometimes don't let certain things come in between friendships.
Yeah,
if you value friendships that much.
Yeah, but sometimes political debates even become more hostile than religion with the friends that don't care about the same stuff. I remember I had a very hostile argument about Israel-Palestine conflict with a friend. That one almost caught fire. Yeah. Yeah, and I think we're still healing from that conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that bad?
No, it was really, really bad.
Okay, let's not go.
Yeah.
Let's not go deep into that. Okay.
Yeah.
I've forgotten where I was. Okay. Do you one day have you ever tried to change somebody who's Christian?
I think change is a bad approach. Like if I'm trying to change you. No, I think it's more accurate to say I'm trying to spark a conversation that most people haven't started having yet. But people have been trying to change me.
Of course, everyone wants to change you. Everybody wants to.
It's you guys that want to change people. Us, we don't want to change anyone. Us, we want to have conversation.
Okay, so let's go a bit back in time in your history. We did a bit of searching, a bit of stalking. What the hell? Did a bit of stalking, and it's a known fact that you were once Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. And looking at this is a birthday shoot. Let's talk about how.
Don't celebrate birthday.
Yeah, thank you. But I wanted to make it a bit fancy. Okay, so we know Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays and other interesting holidays.
Yeah.
So when you were Jehovah's Witness, did you ever feel like you wanted to celebrate your birthday, but because of these church doctrines, you couldn't?
Absolutely not. Me, I was like in there, man. Like it was irrelevant.
Okay.
A lot of my family members would celebrate it, like wish me happy birthday. Sometimes I would get pissed. But then I was like, it's chill, give me money. Yeah. So they would celebrate my birthday, post me everywhere, but me, I just didn't care. Sometimes I would let the whole day just go by like any regular day, you know? Yeah. Okay. And the primary reason, you want me to also say why witnesses don't believe in birthday?
Sure. Knowledge is power. Yeah.
So witnesses believe birthdays, okay, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't fully remember the literature, but they believe birthdays are spoken of in the negative light in the Bible. Not everything is explicit, like don't do this, don't do that. But every birthday celebration is spoken of in bad light. The other birthday celebration was Herod's birthday, where John the Baptist was decapitated. Yeah, I almost said castrated. Decapitated, and then the other birthday again, one of the bakers, I don't know who was in jail with, I've forgotten, I don't know if it's Joseph, was also beheaded. So they said from that, birthdays are spoken of in the negative, we're not supposed to celebrate birthdays. And then they use verses like that verse in Ecclesiastes that says the day you were born, or the day you die is better than the day you were born, and stuff like that. So that's their narrative, yeah. Pretty much oversimplification.
Okay, so you were so inclined to the church doctrine, and okay, so it had to do with more of the church than what you are feeling or what might be true about birthdays, although we don't know what's true about birthdays, if we celebrate them or not.
I don't even think it's a big issue. Like, dude, this if you consider it's like a marriage anniversary. Like, why make an issue out of celebrating a day that marks the fact that you're slightly aged? What's the issue? I don't think it should be a big issue, you know?
I think for me, I get birthday depression. Every time it's my birthday, I don't want to do anything. It's just that people around me want to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's only now that I haven't started doing stuff on my birthday.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I always get birthday depression and anxiety. It's like I read something that said every birthday, is it every day or every birthday marks? Oh no, that's something else. They're at today is the youngest you will be, and something like that.
Like you're old, like a superposition. You're old and young.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah. Anyway, so since we're talking about your birthday, do you have any plans? Let's drift away from the intellectual stuff.
I don't have plans. You have to make plans.
For me?
Yeah.
I'm the journalist here. You have to come to my office if you want plans. By the way, I'm a new journalist and I'm trying to get used to this camera stuff.
Yeah. You said you have to be a journalist standing in front of the camera.
Because journalists are always in front of the camera.
You just have a love and hate relationship with me, journalists. Yeah, so I don't have plans for my birthday.
You took us all the way to Egypt and brought us back. Okay, no, I'm sure your friends would probably do a philosophy themed party or a science. Oh, that's actually fun.
Yeah, perhaps you should do that for me.
We decorate this whole place and
these guys are not creative. If they wanted here, they would have brought a cheap portrait for AJ. Just bring a portrait for Richard Dawkins, Darwin. Just bring and put it in my house. So you see, to be like pathetic stuff. I don't even know where the rest of it.
This guy is so ungrateful. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
No, I'm sure the people watching will please consider he wants to play on his birthday.
I don't want to play. I want meaningful gifts.
Yeah, that's meaningful. Like if you
I play all the time.
Oh yeah, how often do you play?
Every day, every time and every day.
Do you work 24/7 or 24? No, not 24/7. You can't work 24/7.
I work every day of the week.
Every day of the week, including Saturdays?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
What do you do in your free time, apart from podcast recording?
I think about things, I drink. I take walks. No, I don't walk. Why am I trying to lie? And I watch stuff. I watch a lot of stuff.
Oh, you watch a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have like any hobbies that... Yeah, okay, do you have any hobbies? Or do you have something recreational when you feel a certain way?
I'll be arrested if I said that my recreations on camera. Yeah. Yeah.
You're talking to your lawyer, you know that, right? You're afraid to say anything you want.
my life shall be fought for, Yeah. Me, I'm very protected, man. I got a personal lawyer here. I don't even have to pay for anything. I just need to go out there, commit crimes, and she will fight for my life, tooth and nail. Yeah.
You have to pay in kind, baby.
Oh, yeah. Easy stuff.
There's nothing for free.
Yeah.
There's really nothing for free.
But those gigs, when they come good. And when they don't come at all. Yeah.
That's the nature of life.
Yeah.
You lose some.
You win some.
Yeah, exactly.
So in closing.
What about close? When I'm just getting comfortable.
Oh, okay.
No, actually. No, let's close.
We can continue, man.
Time is of the... Yes, my watch is
I live for conversation.
upside down. I didn't realize that.
No.
Anyway, in closing... Okay, no, not yet. We're not closing yet. I had one burning question, but it's gone.
I can even ask you one funny philosophical question.
I know. Okay.
If your burning question has disappeared.
Yeah. Okay, but one thing. So that wasn't the burning question I had. You mentioned something that gave me a question, but it's gone. I don't know how or why.
It was about what? What were we talking
Do you ever think there's an intersection between religion and science?
What do you mean?
Like, do they come? Is there any point at which religion says the same thing and science says the same thing? Because of course philosophy doesn't, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, I feel like it's philosophy that's more linked to religion.
Not science.
But yeah, there is an intersection. You can find it. Okay, in short, the best way to answer that question is there really isn't a conflict between science and religion. Unless your religion is like the fundamentalist one, where you believe literal stuff. Say, for example, in the Bible, you literally believe that Adam and Eve were like really, really actual humans and they were the first people. Science will tell you, no, there's like a long history of human evolution, and there's all this evidence that's really alarming, and you would look very unreasonable if you thought it's not true, you know. And stuff like that. I think there's a way you can twerk it. Yeah. But the Bible is not always in conflict with science. Not all the time.
Not all the time. So why aren't scientists Christians then?
Oh, there are many scientists who are Christians.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that was... Oh, most scientists...
In fact, the dude that sequenced the whole human genome, Francis Collins, is Christian. And he has a book called The Language of God. Super nice book.
Okay. You should let us know where we can find the book on.
Yeah. Some Christians and philosophers, and some Christians, as well as some science Christian type things, as well as Christian philosophers, are usually super smart. There are people who I even watch that I can't even debate in my wildest dreams. Yeah, okay. But they're Christians.
And have those people successfully influenced you in any way?
Yeah, they have. They've helped me become a little bit more humble. Like, you can't say that. You can't say that shit in public. Oh, there are better arguments here, like stuff like that. Back in those days, you were smart. No, there's no God because of ABCD. Then you stumble across these people and you realize, oh, this question is actually bigger than I thought.
Stop fidgeting.
Okay. I'm getting too comfortable. That's what happens.
Yeah, you were saying.
I was saying, so these people help me, like, you know, when you feel like you know so much and then you start interacting with people that actually know things.
Yeah.
Then you go like, oh, okay, this question was actually bigger than I thought.
I think that was my experience before I started talking to you. I thought I knew enough things. Yeah. But, okay, I knew I didn't know a lot of things, but I just decided to be comfortable in what I was because, you know, sometimes...
I'm happy I was your light bulb.
Not really. There's just that thing that needed to push me and say, no, you can also do it. You can also read beyond or study beyond. But yeah, I knew certain things were there, but I just didn't want to involve myself in them. And then there was you who just came and started saying all these things, and I'm just like, oh, such people are there in this country. Okay, yeah, cool. I think we should do a case study about you.
Yeah. She should go in the legal records. Yeah.
And do a case study about you. What legal thinking?
I don't know. Like, just wait for somebody to be arrested, then over like certain wild opinions, and then you can be like, oh, let's do now a case study so we can set up a precedent.
Oh, okay, cool. That would be very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. They will never forget you.
Never. Yeah. I might even get sponsorship to Oxford or something.
Yeah. It's a dream. That's all the great That's where all the great names come from.
Yeah, no, but we'll see. It's a plan.
Yeah.
Anyway, in concluding, any last words for us who haven't celebrated our birthdays yet?
For you who haven't celebrated your birthdays yet, just have realistic expectations, especially of me. I'm just a young man. And something about birthdays, whatever you do for me, that's the bar you've set. So I'll just slightly go 2 steps further. So if you beat yourself down, you go all out, I'll feel compelled to do the same, or I'll feel compelled to beat the record you set.
So let's say.
So if you get me a watch, I'm getting you a watch and a handbag.
So what if I get you a shoe brush?
I'll get you polish next time.
No, but listen, it's about what?
It's about outdoing each other. That's what birthdays are for.
It's about what?
It's outdoing each other.
It's about the thought and the impact that the gift has. Look, if I get you a shoe brush, your shoes will ever be clean. You never know who you meet. Maybe you meet some CEO of
I have a shoe brush, right? What makes your shoe brush intrinsically special?
Because it's coming from me. As simple as that.
She gets me a shoe brush, I get her a hairbrush. That's just simple stuff, man. So I've told you, that's the most important thing about birthdays.
I'll get you...
outdoing each other.
I'll get you socks, a handkerchief, and a vest.
Okay. So I'll get you lingerie, heels,
I don't want.
and the
I
handbag.
have enough of those things.
Yeah, even me, I have enough of those things.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. You've spoken your last word.
Yes. Last words done.
Okay, what are your thoughts on pineapples on pizza? Let's close it on that note.
They taste weird. It's like having it's like having pizza with what you call it, chovis.
But I like it. Why does everyone think it's weird? Just like pizza and avocado.
Avocado, not really that bad, but pineapple. Pineapple is sweet in a loud way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then pizza is
Not sweet
it's
at
like,
all.
so you're the better sweet human being.
No, it's different. It's different. Yeah.
It's you are what you eat.
Yeah, so you are a pizza and a pineapple.
Yeah,
Which doesn't even
exactly.
make
I
sense.
would be.
Me and pizza and mushroom. Pizza and mushroom.
I'm stopping the audio now.
Okay.